Hello everyone and welcome to another one-off. Again, I don't have anything really from the Insane Trilogy this week, but this is going to be, I think this is the last day that I'm recording this of the RWBY event between Knights Chronicle and RWBY. I wanted to do this way earlier, but every time I got home I was already done with the Cinder Fall Advent because I do it every day, and I didn't have enough dungeon tickets to renew it. But in case you don't know what Knights Chronicle is, it's like kind of like an idle RPG that you can set to auto repeat. It's one of the better ones. I have not spent a single dime on this, and I've maxed out all the RWBY characters except for Cinder. And I'll show you right now. We got Yang here in her Beacon Academy outfit. She's got the Beacon Academy. Then you can hide it, and then she looks like her normal self. And her icon changes, and then you can choose to switch it. I think that I might go to showing her season 4 through 6 outfit, because the Beacon Academy one, it just annoys me that they didn't actually put her second gauntlet, because she has her arm in this outfit, but in this one she has her mechanical arm, so it makes sense that she doesn't have the other gauntlet. But she has costume badges. Her details, she's fully enhanced, level 60. Her combat power is 12,690. I haven't really leveled up her active skills yet because I haven't gotten many Yangs or Lunas to actually enhance her skills. Her passive skill is Compounding Rage, which their passive skills for RWBY, for Team RWBY, are pretty much their semblances, made in a way to fit the game. Like, assumes a counter stance for 2 turns at the start of the wave, obtains 1 compounding rage at the start of the wave, or when attacked, max 3, increases attack by 30% for each compounding rage, and consume all compounding rage at the end of the caster's turn. Basically giving her, what, a 90% attack increase? But she also has Time for Vengeance, which is 60% chance to assume a counter stance for 2 turns with counter attacking, and decrease the damage taken by 50%. So their passives are separated. That's also part of the Yang Semblance to reduce to take more damage. That sounded better in my head. The increased damage here, because I guess it would be kind of unfair in a game like this to have her take more damage. But that's how Yang Semblance is supposed to work. The more damage she takes, the more damage she deals out when her semblance is activated. But it's more or less the same way. Her leader skill isn't very good unless you only use light/wind allies, and even then, Weiss's leader skill is probably the best of the bunch, because I strictly use RWBY, Team RWBY, and Cinder is the 5th person unless I use a random helper from my friends list. So you got RWBY, who her leadership skill is True Friendship, and she's almost fully enhanced. And she's max level. She's got her Beacon Academy outfit as well. True Friendship, increase wind/light allies critical strike damage by 40%. That's okay. That's what I started off with, but it's not, again, it's mainly if you use only wind/light allies, and I use all of the elements. Her passive is Crescent Rose, increased damage dealt by 30% upon landing a critical strike. From what I've learned of RWBY is that she's a critical strike machine, so you do want to pile on crit and crit damage on her and get her to crit as much as you can. But even at max crit chance, from what I've read, it makes her not really that opportune, because even at max crit chance, you still have a chance of not critting. Because I don't think you get to 100% crit. I think you could get to like an 80% crit, and that's pretty often. But if it's set up like Diablo, 80% crit will probably be a lot, but you have to do so much to get there. But when Resolve is activated, it activates Resolve upon taking fatal damage. When Resolve is activated, it restores the caster's HP by 50% and grants the caster Veil of Phantasm for 2 turns, once per battle. Basically, it's, hey, she's gonna die, make sure she doesn't die for 2 turns. And then she has her level 60 ability, Unsurpassed Agility, which is more akin to her semblance for speed. Has a high chance to cause the caster's turn to come more quickly at the start of the wave, and also increases critical strike damage by 170% of critical strike chance. that there is the reason why critical strike and critical chance and damage are both really important, because it's 170% of whatever your critical strike chance is. So I guess the higher you get, like to 80%, for example, I don't know if you can actually get to 80%, because I don't have that much crit on her. I only have what? I only have 36.24%. Yeah, I don't have a lot of crit on her. I need to actually gear her better. But they have their own little passives as well, like Sunbreaker for Yang. Well, not passives, they're ultimates. Threes. Their 3 is an ultimate. And Rose Eclipse is hers. Increased penetration damage equal to 300% of attack to one target. 60% chance to make the target unable to revive for 2 turns. Then you got Cinder. Her passive is increased fire allies attack by 40%. That's completely useless, which when out of the RWBY characters, if you're only going to use Team RWBY and Cinder, that's completely useless to make her a leader skill unless you're only doing fire characters. Then it's okay. But I haven't fully done her. Like she's the last character I'm gearing up. Like, she's got Transcendental Power, increased attack by 100%, and EBA by 50% if the caster has Fall Maiden, consumes 1 Fall Maiden upon using skill number 1 or skill number 3. And I've already maxed out Fall Maiden, which is level 6, and obtains 3 Fall Maidens, removes 3 debuffs, and restores the caster's HP by 100%, and makes the caster's turn come next. She also has a passive of Resurrection, which I haven't unlocked yet, but it activates Immortality with 100% of HP upon death, but will not be revived if killed while burned. Twice per battle. Decreases the caster's cooldowns by 1 turn when attacked if the caster does not have a Fall Maiden. That seems pretty good. I haven't actually gotten enough materials to unlock it yet, though. And then you got Weiss, whose leader skill I think is the best of the bunch, especially if you're going to do what I'm doing and being Team RWBY plus Cinder. Because her leader skill is Ice Queen. Increases attack type allies attack by 60%, and all of them are attack allies. All of Team RWBY and Cinder are attack allies. That up here. And that's a 60% increase, but you also get a multi-strike chance increase by 20% if Ruby Rose is in the party. So if Ruby Rose is anywhere in the party, you get that extra buff. So Ice Queen actually does 2 things as long as Weiss and RWBY are together. This is why I think she's the best leader skill, and the only leader skill you should do if you're doing Team RWBY plus Cinder, like me. And her passive skill is she's got Glyph. Obtains a Glyph at the start of the battle, inflicts additional damage equal to 80% of damage dealt, and has a 70% chance to make the target unable to revive for 1 turn. This is when attacking if the caster has a Glyph. And then her level 60 talent, Pirouette. Decreased damage taken by 50% for 2 turns at the start of the wave. 70% chance to freeze for 1 turn, and 50% chance to decrease the caster's skill cooldowns by 1 turn when attacking if the caster does not have a Glyph. Then I got Blake, which the point of this was to show the Advent, but I'm also showing this off. I don't want to, just show the Advent and be like a 5-minute video. But you got Blake here. Her leadership skill is also kind of useless unless you're completely dark with your allies, because she's dark element. Increased dark allies multi-strike chance by 30%. That's not that bad, especially since she does rely on multi-strike, I believe. Yeah, that's what I have here for the runes. And her passive skill, Semblance Shadow. Though hers is the only one that actually specifies Semblance, that actually uses her Semblance literally. 100% chance to obtain 2 shadows at the start of the wave, max 2. Consume 1 shadow when attacked to nullify damage taken if the caster has a shadow. Guarantees multi-strike if the caster does not have a shadow. And then you got Shadow Consolidation for her level 60 talent, which is 100% chance to obtain 1 shadows upon multi-strike. Increased damage dealt by 80% and ignores target damage decrease if the caster has a shadow. And then you got here 3 active skills, which Blade Rush. And Weiss has Summon Armor Gigas. And where Cinder has Seismic Disruption. And RWBY's Rose Eclipse. I believe I already talked about that. basically with Blake, I believe from what I was reading, her best real stats are counterattack. No, not counterattack. Multi-strike would be her best thing in counterattack, yes. Where you don't have to stack counterattack on Yang because her compounding rage does that, and so does her time for vengeance passive.
Yeah, I'm scared. But I'm still standing here. I'm not like you. I won't run.
Yeah, I accidentally clicked on her, but there is the one complaint here that with, there's a legitimate complaint that they did not record any unique dialogue for this crossover for Knights Chronicle and RWBY, and I understand why. It's a mobile game, it's just a promotion. They literally put the work in to make the models and make the characters work in this little universe. But it would have been nice to go the extra mile to actually make original lines that fit the scenario, because they just took random bits from the series. I don't know if they were all just from season 6 or if they were from season... Well, no, that line was from season 5, so it's from season 5 and 6. It depends on where they take them from. I usually play this on my phone with the sound off and listening to music, so this is honestly the first time that I hear a lot of this. But anyway, we're going to get to the point of the video. I put a timestamp somewhere. If you didn't want to hear about the rants, the ramblings about this, I put a timestamp somewhere on this video if you want to get straight to the Advent and just look at the Advent. It's under Special Dungeon Advent, Cinder Fall. I already did it today, so I had to use my dungeon tickets to redo it so I could show it to you guys. But you have here that your leadership skill. This is the leader slot, so Weiss is there. And I don't think it matters the order that you put the rest of them in. Cinder's always the 5th one. But here's the thing. You can have a helper, and if that helper is, you know, like Weiss, for example, I believe you can stack her leader skill, and I usually pick her if I see her, because then the helper skill is the leader skill of that character, and if you can stack it, I don't know if you can. I haven't really looked into it, but every time I was doing it while I was leveling, it seemed to help quite a bit and made me go very fast through the story. So I have no idea if that's true or not. I'm not going to say it is, because I don't know if it is or not. I don't know how the mechanic works like that. I know if it's a different helper skill, that will work. But if it's the same helper skill, or leader skill, I don't know. Let's see. We're gonna go in assuming, thinking it works. It may not, it may work. I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs.
Well, I suppose it could be fun.
But see, that was the problem. Like, that has no context here. Like, the worst part about the random lines is that it has no context. But I'm gonna stop getting into that, and we're gonna get into here, where you have 3 attacks. You can have auto mode, which is up top next to that one, and you can also make it go twice as fast. I'm going to turn on auto mode after I show a couple of phases of playing it manually. So you got the 1 attack, which is a crit. There's also the fact that when you play as the RWBY characters, you get the shield, which makes the Cinder Advent kind of a joke, because Cinder can't even penetrate the shields. I've seen her nearly get rid of RWBYs, but that's about it. But again, I'm kind of going on a tangent here. Number 1. Though it does look like that with the helper, I can't control the helper. The helper is on his own. On his own or her own, whatever. Oh no, I can control them. No, wait, no, that's my Weiss. And keep in mind, this is on Annihilation. I chose the hardest one too. And look how much damage I'm doing, because they're all level 60 and they all have the best talents on their characters because of the hero talents. Like RWBY right there, she crit and she took out 3 guys at once. Oh, yeah, okay, I can control her. Why didn't I control her the first time? And we got the Chimera, which is not a Grimm. It's just a black version, like a color black version of the Chimera that was already in the game. See, look, group. They have special stuff for enemies and for other people.
It's nothing personal, dear.
The sound effects are just fucking making me hard to actually talk. How foolish of you to challenge me. Witness the power of the Fall Maiden. Alright. Get rid of your buddy. I actually didn't realize how much freaking damage they do. Because I usually have this on auto and put it on my charger and just have it auto battle for a while. But as you can see, Ying pretty much does counterattack almost every time, especially with commanding range. And here's her seismic disruption, creating the long sword. Okay, I did say I was going to turn on auto battle, but this is going by so fast I don't really need to. Immunity, huh? Alright, well, we're gonna do Sunbreaker. Show off at least one move.
Okay,
yeah.
It can feel impossible. Like every single day is a struggle against some unstoppable monster we can never hope to beat. But we have to try.
And there's my other criticism again. Well, it's the same criticism, that the random lines don't make a whole lot of sense of where they're placed. They're just there because the character is there. I really honestly wish that they had created unique lines, especially since these lines feel like that they were just literally pulled from the episodes, because the audio is also not very good comparatively, like how a freshly recorded voice line would be. And that took about 3 minutes and 43 seconds because I ended up doing it manually, because you could do auto battle, and I don't want to do another one because that would make this run over a little bit. But again, that was the RWBY event, and that was the Cinder Advent. And I got another Cinder so I could actually upgrade some stuff. But anyway, that was the Cinder Advent, and that was the RWBY event for Knights Chronicle, which I believe might be ending today or tomorrow, Wednesday or Thursday. I wanted to get that in before it ended because it's a cool crossover. Who knows? The upcoming Smite and RWBY crossover, I might actually do a video on that as well. I really enjoy RWBY. That could be a thing that would be misconstrued with my RWBY Grimm Eclipse video that I did last year, Potter Spotlight, where I constantly complained about it and nitpicked the shit out of Grimm Eclipse because I genuinely think it's not a good game. When I honestly think that this mobile game handled the RWBY characters, apart from the voice clips, better than Grimm Eclipse, which is an official RWBY game, there's a bit of a problem there. And I'm also not that big of a fan of Amity Arena. I don't like the fact that there's a RWBY deck building game. I don't like the fact that they're going in these weird directions. Now there's going to be a RWBY Bejeweled game that features RWBY chibi designs. I personally want to see them go in a direction with a RWBY game that's essentially an RPG. That's why I think they fit pretty well in Knights Chronicle. But I'll leave that you two to decide. I'll link the Google Play Knights Chronicle stuff in the link below, but by the time this video is out, the RWBY stuff could probably be over with. I don't know if they have it set up to where when the collaboration is over, you can still get the characters, or if that might ruin the whole point of the collaboration, because the collaboration is probably where you get the characters and then you can't get them afterwards. But I'll see you guys in the next video. I know I ranted a lot, so I do apologize. Bye-bye.